Welcome to the Bastard Servant, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of your hosts, Luke Young.
Cody Hucker.
Patrick Seta.
And this week it's we got Rachel on. She's our guest.
Hello.
Hi, Rachel.
Rachel, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, that was nice.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
She gets so timid when she gets on the mic.
Wow, yeah.
She's
so
been-
talkative. I'll tell.
She's working on her podcast voice right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you like Peeps, don't you, Rachel?
I fucking love Peeps.
You like chocolate-covered Peeps.
Yeah. Specifically.
They're fucking nasty.
You've never had a chocolate covered peep. It's
All
just a
Peeps are
chocolate covered
foul.
marshmallow.
I have
Peeps are
never
the-
had a Peep where I've actually enjoyed it. They make my mouth so dry with how much sugar is on them. And then they're hard to swallow every time.
Are you eating them all in one bite? Like,
I take big bites.
Dude, they're literally the worst fucking candies that I've ever put into my mouth in my entire life.
False.
Okay. So there's the other candies called Mary Janes that are like these chewy fucking like
I know even worse.
What
licorice
about
peanut
circus
butter
peanuts?
candy. Circus peanuts are pretty bad, but I hate Peeps. Peeps are like a next level of circus peanut though. They're like circus peanut plus extra sugar and marshmallow.
What about the candies that are just sugar drops on paper and you're eating 50% paper?
Yeah, you're right.
disgusting.
Those are bad. Or fucking candy lips. What?
Yeah.
Like, what was even the purpose of
Those
those
are just like
fucking
wax,
things? They don't even
weren't
taste
they?
good.
Yeah,
Yo,
they're
let's
just straight wax.
Let's talk about the bug bites that were around when we were kids that are no longer around.
Bug
They're like
bites?
this small little plastic jar, and they were filled with like small little bug-shaped sweet tarts.
Kind of like bones and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
now I remember.
They were so awesome.
Well, remember Warheads being huge when we were kids.
Warheads still roll.
I'm sorry. I love them, like, because maybe I want to love them. I want to love them because they look so damn tasty. Like,
They are
whenever you
good.
see that face with the nuclear explosion behind him, you're like, damn, he must be eating something sweet. And then you put it in your mouth, and it's just so fucking foul and
It wasn't foul, it was sour.
Yeah, it's sour. Then they're not that bad,
Yeah.
but the black and yellow ones are excruciating.
I think I've only had the black ones. Like that, I'm just like, wow, why is this black, dude?
Dude, you gotta have the blue ones, man. You gotta have the blue. You gotta ease yourself into that level of toxicity.
You know what I miss? Fucking Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos were the shit.
What are Dunkaroos?
Excuse
Really?
you?
What?
I'm sorry, you guys.
Watch
What?
your mouth.
Wow.
I didn't know something.
You had an unfortunate childhood if you never had Dunkaroos.
What are Dunkaroos?
They're like the cookie equivalent of fucking Fun Dip, where you wanted to eat all of the cream.
Oh wait, was it that white
Instead-
cream cheese shit?
Yes.
And then it was
It wasn't cream
No,
cheese.
it was
well,
like
not cream
funfetti
cheese.
icing. It
Yeah,
was like
it was
almost
icing.
like cookie
Come on,
graham
Cody.
crackers
And
dipped
chocolate
in
icing.
funfetti.
Tell me
and
you-
chocolate, yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't
the only-
remember the light blue packages with the kangaroo with the swim trunks on,
Dang,
saying
I remember 'em.
"Dunkaroo, baby."
I fucking remember them, and I remember why I don't remember the name because those dry ass cookies sucked ass by themselves.
That's
if
why you
didn't
dipped
fucking-
them.
Yeah,
that's
but
why
like
they're
they
called
didn't-
Dunkaroos,
icing.
Cody.
They didn't give you
Dunk
enough
them,
dip
dude.
though. They never give you enough fucking dip
They
to make
give
you
you
Yeah,
plenty
they
of
do.
dunk.
No,
They
they
give you
don't.
plenty. You have
No,
to
they
finish
don't.
off.
They
Don't.
gave you plenty of dunk.
They
You-
100% do not give you enough
goddamn
icing.
sugar fiend. There's not enough icing there.
I am with you.
No, it
You just
they
learned
give
to
you
ration.
plenty.
Portion control.
Yeah, portion control.
These two fucking skinny fucks
You
are trying to tell me right now about how much icing I should be. Listen to me. I need a lot of goddamn icing on my fucking Dunkaroos. Otherwise, it's just some dry ass shitty cookies that grandma burnt in the oven. That's all
I
they
can't
are.
And
believe you're
also-
hating on Dunkaroos right now.
Fuck
Who the
Dunkaroos.
fuck? What
Wow.
kid is like thinking about portion control while trying to dig
Right?
into some Dunkaroos? I don't know
Me.
about you, but I was looking
rationed
like
my icing so it fit on all. I mean, here, listen.
I didn't get
would
this-
rather have had more icing. I'm not gonna lie. I was able to ration the icing that I had so that it got on. All
I had to open up 2 packages, throw away the cookies from fucking one, and then like triple dunk them fuckers because and then they were amazing. Now I fucking remember, but I hated them because I had to waste a whole pack just to get the right amount of icing.
dude, I looked like I had
didn't
some
get
sort of mental deficiency trying to lick all the icing out.
I didn't get this fucking fat, boyish, like
no one
big
Snapchat
old
that fool.
cheeks and B-cup titties from not like triple dunking the Dunkaroo.
So speaking of Peeps,
That was that.
What a
I
poor
wonder-
segue.
I wonder how far that conversation could have gone though. if I
That was a
didn't go back to the
segue like a
original
car
Peeps.
crash. Like he just rammed his car into our conversation. Like,
Sorry, guys.
so about Peeps.
So ignore that 90s nostalgia you were just having.
Would
Let's
you-
talk about me.
The guy that hosts the 90s Nostalgia podcast cuts us off to talk about goddamn Peeps. Go ahead, Pat.
would you have Peeps on pizza?
Absolutely not. We all established peas are garbage, except for her.
What if they're chocolate covered?
Even worse.
That makes it so much fucking
Listen,
worse.
okay,
I'm
I
a person
feel like
that
I
doesn't
need
like
to-
marshmallow unless it is accompanied by something, and everything Peeps throws at me to accompany with a marshmallow is utter garbage.
The chocolate covered Peeps are not the same as just eating a regular Peep. Like, they don't have the extra sugar and stuff on top of them. So it's just like eating a piece of candy that would be like a marshmallow filled chocolate thing.
I'll give it a shot.
They're good.
Would you really eat it?
I would give a chocolate Peep a shot because I haven't.
Oh, wait,
had
no,
them.
I'm talking about a
I've
pizza.
had. Oh, absolutely not.
You wouldn't even take a
Pizza,
bite?
if
Fuck
you will.
no.
We're getting this from a meme, by the way, which is like y'all are complaining about pineapple. Y'all are talking about whether or not pineapples belong on a pizza. Meanwhile, I'm here and it's a picture of a fucking pizza with melted Peeps all over it. And then in the bottom comments, like, I wish we would have all died in 2012. And I've never identified with the comments so much in my entire life.
I completely agree.
I was like, why couldn't a Nostradamus have predicted this?
Can you
one?
imagine that? Like walking out of that Miami University graduation building and then just getting like a call on our phone, like CNN's just reported a giant meteor is heading our way.
I didn't go to graduation. I got drunk instead with my friends because I did not
man.
appreciate going. They didn't have a graduation for the high school that I technically went to. I went to Coleraine technically.
Yeah.
They had a graduation, but I went to the Options Academy, which I've talked about on here before. The fuck around school where you just walk around drinking 40s and smoking blunts and doing whatever the fuck, doing art and being all fucked up in front of teachers and shit. They didn't have a graduation for that one, so I didn't go to graduation. Instead, I went out and fucked around with my friends. And
I fucking went to graduation, and I was the first one walking into the stadium and the last one out because of my fucking last name.
No, but if the world would have ended on what I was actually doing on December, I remember it because I was having like a panic attack because I thought, what if the world does end? I was working as a fucking manager, the only person at Dollar General, just sitting there like pacing frantically back and forth at the, like, thinking like, oh fuck, what if this is the end of the world and I gotta die in this shitty Dollar General manager outfit with my stupid haircut?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
What was
course.
it like working at Dollar General?
Oh god
Did you get any
damn,
good
that store was
deals?
garbage.
What kind of deals?
They-
Would you
did
ever
Dollar
order
General-
a hot and ready Peeps pizza
Hold the
from
fuck.
Little's?
Hold the
While I
fuck
was-
on.
While I was managing the Dollar General.
Why? What kind of
Nothing would make that
discounts-
shift worse than getting my pizza and just opening that box all hungry and shit after dealing with a bunch of stupid ass fucking questions. Why it says it's the Dollar General, but everything in here $5? Well, sir, it's everything's generally. Fuck, I'm just waiting for lunch break, and then I open up that fucking pizza box. Melted Peeps, you what the fuck? So yeah, I don't think anything would have been worse than that.
I feel like, what kind of discounts are you expecting to get as an
They-
employee at Dollar
Do you
General?
get like?
Fuck their
what kind of
employees.
Yeah,
discounts
what
do you
kind
get?
of deals? I
Nothing.
want to know about this deal.
10% off coupons on Christmas. No bonuses or fucking pay raises. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't organize the belts right this week, Donnie. I guess you're not going to get that 10 cents on your $8 an hour. We really got to save so the fucking managers could go out and play golf every week, even though they're supposed to be working 50 fucking hours on salary. Fuck Dollar General.
What would you say to people that were trying to steal, even though it was only $1?
Let 'em
Like,
have
you
it.
just
Dude.
say like it's just a fucking $1.
Dude, I acted like I'm trying to come up with like a name that works for this. Like, I played End of Watch, like the fucking real life video game when people were stealing, because it was the only joy that I had in the day was like chasing them down into the parking lot. Sir, excuse me, sir, those women's panties that you have stuffed into your fucking coat right now? No, of course not. And then he'd fucking get into his car, we'd write his license plate down, we knew some detective. And then I felt like such a fucking like bitch later on because I was like, I should have just let him steal from this fucking stupid company. But literally the only...
You chased him outside? Hold on.
Dude, so many fucking like calling people out in front of their families.
I picture
That's
you,
fucking
kids.
awesome.
I picture you in like a fast walk with your arm in the air, like, sir,
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 sir.
Is that 10?
Excuse me, sir.
Just
you
grew
steal
around Big Ben, apparently.
Is that the jumbo pack of juicy fruit that you didn't pay for, sir? That's $2.25.
Come back and pay for that right
I know
now.
you got that in quarters
Sir.
on your floorboards.
So,
Wait,
Yeah,
hey,
it was-
Cody,
Tell us the story
at
about
what-
you chasing someone out.
At
I
what point
don't
did you
know.
lose your British accent?
My British accent. Oi, it's the Witcher. Oi, Witcher. Stop stealing from the Dollar General, Witcher.
God damn it.
That's the only I could do that one, and that's it. I can't like do a regular one. I have to like scream it for it to even sort of work.
Dude, I try to do accents all of the time, no matter how garbage they are.
Yeah, I try, but I won't ever do one on a podcast except for that one because I was
Why
like,
not?
that one's half solid. But
Well, we
all
can
the
try-
rest
let's
of
try
them are
this.
trash.
When I was younger, me and my friends would always have fun because we always liked talking in Australian accents because we thought it was really cool.
Give it a shot, Pat.
No. Oh.
No,
Did you use this
You
to
brought
pick
it
up
up.
Oi, mate, is that a goanna? It's a butte. Thanks. Guys.
I apologize to all
Thanks.
of our Australian viewers, but that
I
was
really do love
amazing.
Australia, and I'm going to go there. But we would always like to wonder what it would be like to say motherfucker in Australian, and it was so
Jim,
hard to try to...
Motherfucker.
Do you guys know who Jim Jeffries is?
Motherfucker.
The comedian?
Motherfucker.
He
Yeah.
talked about how to do he's an Australian comedian, but he was like, if you want to make anything Australian, you have to phrase it like it's a question, even if it's not. If you just put that inflection of like maybe it's a question at the end of your words, then it sounds Australian. And it was a bit that they did on Opie and Anthony for a while, and it actually works. I'm not going to attempt to do it, but if you want to find that's like if you want to learn how to talk in an Australian accent, get that fucking question inflection down on the end of it.
I love Australia, though. I want to go there.
I don't.
Everything
Why?
seems scary there.
Yeah,
except for the
literally
people.
everything can
I've heard
kill
the
you.
people are.
Yo, you scared of a little bit of nature, boys?
110%. If I can just go out there, get bit, and be paralyzed, and then just die drowning on my own blood for like 4
Hold on,
hours.
let me ask you this. Would you rather die living an adventure, though? Or would you rather die in a shitty fucking senior home, fucking eating
There is a
paste out of a
difference
tube?
between dying on an adventure and then dying on like some bullshit stepping on a fucking snake. That's not my definition.
Here's
of
how little I
adventure.
know about geography. Is New Zealand connected to Australia, or is it its own?
No, it's
How
its
does that
own.
work?
It's an island.
That's a good
Is
question.
it close to Australia though? I get the impression that it's like the same thing.
It's not.
not.
It's
Not
not
at all?
They're all offended right now.
Not even
They're
sort
all
of?
like super
Wow.
mad.
Where the fuck is it at then? Is it like it's close, right? It's somewhere next to it.
Where do you think it's by?
All of our international
I thought
fans,
that it was-
don't be surprised. Our education system in this country is garbage.
I like
mean-
I like Cody's geography. Where do you think it's by?
Somewhere next to Texas, right, Pat? The Gulf of Mexico? Of course not. I think that it's next to fucking Australia. I just said it. It's next to Australia, I think, or connected in some way. Can we look this fucking thing
Yes,
up?
She
I'm showing
is.
you right now. It is.
Oh my
close
God!
enough.
It's right next to fucking Australia. She shows me a map. There's some water in Australia and New Zealand. You
not-
fucks.
Well,
You're
okay,
tell
so,
me it's
like,
hold
not
on.
fucking
If
part of
Australia-
Cody, that is not right next to Australia. That's a couple hundred miles.
Y'all
would be
criticize
like
me like I
calling
said it was next to
Cuba
Greenland
A
or some
couple
shit.
hundred miles. That's
America.
closer than Gatlinburg.
I just need to clarify that New Zealand is 2,581.797 miles.
No shit. That's farther than Gatlinburg.
Much
I
farther.
get it, guys. I was
much
wrong.
farther, but that's still
Jesus.
pretty close.
So Cody, like, would you ever eat a cactus?
No, but I watched the LA Beast do that. Shout out to that fucking idiot. I love watching that idiot do all kinds of shit. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, I've seen him eat a bunch of cactus.
He ate like 10 of them in a row. It's
cacti.
fucking retarded.
Let's fucking dig into what I was trying to talk to you the other day when I dropped some LSD.
oh yeah,
Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia.
Can we, before we get into that, can I do the setup real quick?
Go for it.
I'm like, what time did you call me? Even it was like it was probably like fucking
7
2
or 8
p.m.
in the morning, maybe.
It was not that early. It was like noon at least.
Really?
It was like, so this is like the crazy part. So I get a phone call at noon. I'm halfway passed out on the couch because I had stayed up day drinking all day and then all night. Like I thought I was going to go to bed at 10 and I went to bed at 4 because I'm a crazy drunken asshole sometimes. And then I wake up all hungover to a phone call from Luke and I was like, what's going on? And he's like super excited to talk to me. And he was like, I've been on psychoactive drugs for like 24 hours. And I'm looking at my phone like, it's fucking 12 o'clock. So you've been tripping since 12 yesterday? Like, are you serious? Like, yeah, dude. And are you familiar with this fucking dude? Like, Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia? Like, yeah, I've seen every episode. And I'm awake now because Luke's tripping balls. And I'm like trying to like have a good conversation. Because I don't want to like blow him off and have him get in some weird headspace or some shit. But he got super into it. So what was the first episode of that you saw?
The first episode that I saw wasn't even about him doing drugs. It was the Haitian zombie research video saga.
Maybe
The
that's the only
six-parter.
one that I haven't seen.
It was so interesting. Apparently, the Haitian zombie is like some dude from Haiti who died during some war or whatever, or some illness, like ages and ages ago. And like 30 or 40 years later, he was like alive again in Haiti, as if he was completely unfazed. Like dental records matched, his like DNA test matched, and all that stuff. Like, this is the guy. He's the Haitian zombie, and he's the first ever medically reported supernatural case, officially. Swear on everything. So he went over to to Haiti to see if he could talk to the boat.
Don't they actively practice voodoo and do all kinds of goofy shit in Haiti like that?
Including kidnapping to practice that stuff.
How reliable is their science?
It is not, because one of the ingredients...
Doc, I got a stomach ache, and he's fucking covered in like a grass skirt, and he's throwing chicken bones on the ground and fucking doing a little dance. There's smoke going and shit.
They use baby corpses
scientifically
a lot.
proven.
They use a lot of baby skeletons. But he talks to the Bokors, which are like witch doctors, and he talks to a bunch of them. One of them says, like, come back Sunday, and we'll do the ceremony, and you will see a zombie rise. Then he comes Sunday, and the guy's like, I am not ready.
What's he do with them?
Is he supposed to, like, do some ritual and then put this, like, blow this drug in his face that, like, basically lobotomizes you times 100? And,
do you think it's that same drug, the scopolamine, that they did another Vice documentary
That's
on?
what he was theorizing at first, but after he finally met a witch doctor that currently had the drug, that didn't have to wait to make, he had it, he offered to even put it on the guy, and he said he had a great antidote for it, for when it kicked in, because it was either going to do the effect and zombify him, or it was going to make him die an incredibly painful death, because it has, like, pufferfish poison and shit into it and all this other stuff. And
how do you find this out?
Dude,
on air.
It's such a good series.
It's a rabbit hole too, because the dude,
really
the journalist that he's
is.
talking about that follows us around is Hamilton Morris, I think is his last name.
He's so interesting.
Been on Rogan a couple times, and he does this series that Luke was just talking about called Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, called that because he explores the world of like psychedelic drugs and drugs in general.
Yeah,
and he's got some of the craziest fucking like documentaries. There's one about
Buffotain.
I don't remember that one, but the one that I'm thinking of is they were trading like these fucking fish or abalone. They were trading abalone that they have to deep sea dive for quaaludes, and quaaludes aren't even supposed to fucking exist anymore in South Africa. And they smoke them now. That's one. There's Crystal's LSD Palace where this stripper girl that was working in like middle of nowhere Kansas City, this dude shows up and she goes home with him, and he drives into an abandoned missile silo, and he's got like a mansion underground where he's
it looks
like
amazing,
LSD drug lord, and he's fucking got
it's some Scarface shit.
He's got IVs in his arm, and they're literally like pumping DMT into their arms so they can surf the DMT wave, like the craziest shit you've ever heard.
You
It's
can
a
look
really
her
addictive
YouTube series up and listen to her talk about all the different psychoactive drugs she did and where she did them.
It's called Neurosoup. Neurosoup is the plug for that girl. She's really interesting, and her life story is fucking super interesting. But she just looks like some older burnout hippie lady, like very unassuming. Like she doesn't look like she lived with a fucking like a super like LSD drug lord.
She seems very pleasant.
Yeah, very nice, like well put together, well spoken lady, and she's just telling
well
these
recovered.
Does she look
stories.
like Sigourney Weaver?
Sigourney Weaver.
I don't know how to say her name, dude. How do you say her name?
Sigourney Weiner? Does she look like Sigourney Weiner?
Weiner?
Sigourney. Is that how you say her name?
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, her.
Oh, but
no.
One of the
Shouldn't look
craziest
like her.
things about that fucking Haitian zombie series was one of the Bokors got offended that they were upset that the drug didn't work, and he started freaking out, and he was yelling in Haitian language, and they subtitled it, and he's like yelling at one of his followers like, I want to eat one of them. They do not think I am a man of importance. I am a man of importance. I will show them. He's going to eat these people, dude. And they went to go see this guy again, except the second time they went to go see him, they brought armed guards, and they had 6 guns in their car.
Don't blame them at all.
They were strapped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They said that it was a naturally occurring thing for people to disappear because people practice voodoo like that shit.
That whole country's kind of crazy.
It used to be
fuck.
super flourishing. It used to be really prosperous. And then it just
like
kind of
30
went to
earthquakes
shit
hit
because
'em.
of that and because of shitty government and religious control.
Extreme poverty now and fucking all kinds of horrible living
They used to
mudslides,
thrive off of
fucking
salt.
horrible shit every day.
Or I think it wasn't salt. I think it was sugar that they made a killing off of.
Right on. I feel like that you could get the same quality food that you get in Haiti right now on the streets of the shittiest neighborhood in Haiti as I got from the Chinese buffet that I ate at last night. Because, oh man, I've been fucking destroyed all day, you guys. I'm sorry if I release a powerful sulfur burp. or fart.
Melt
hear
the
a
microphone.
moment. Yeah, like burps that smell like farts. Like, did I just shit out my mouth? How is that physiologically possible?
Did you
But I
cram
think
your
I did.
Chinese food up your butt?
Me and my buddy Sean showed up at the. Me and my buddy Sean showed up at the Chinese buffet.
I didn't expect that to go twice. Go on,
And we wanted food really bad. We'd been out all day, like trying to hang out with my buddy that he's having some legal difficulties right now. I hope that everything works out for him and whatnot, but I'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But hanging out with him all day, hadn't eaten. It's like fucking 9 o'clock when we leave, and I'm starving. We got to go back and get his car. So I go drop him off at my house to get his car. We drive back to Western Hills, and we're going to Glenway to go get Chipotle. And he gets there before I do because I left super late. And he was like, dude, they're like wrapping shit up right now. We need to go somewhere else. I was like, what else is open right next to there? Like Chinese Grand Dragon Buffet or whatever the fuck they're called. Right there in Glenway. Normally, super good eating experience. We show up there 30 minutes before close, and they've got like a quarter of all the food
You're
like
one of
sitting
them.
there. I'm such a prick. I was so hungry, bro, and I needed a lot of food, and I couldn't.
I'm so hungry, but
Yeah, I
I don't
just
give a shit.
couldn't eat Taco Bell again. Couldn't do Steak and Shake again. Getting sick of Waffle House. I just hate eating fast food. I had a fridge full of fresh food that I was waiting to cook, like all fresh vegetables and shit. And I was thinking like, oh, Chipotle, and then I was like, nope, just kidding.
Chipotle always wins out, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, okay, we'll go to the Chinese buffet. I'll eat fucking 5 plates as fast as I can for $10. And we get over there, and there's like a bunch of like, there's the whole kitchen staff standing around the entire sides of the buffet, and it's like they're all wearing like. They're like hiding their faces because they only have Mexicans working the kitchen, but the front of the house is all Chinese people pretending like they actually have a Chinese accent. And they speak perfect English, but as soon as they walk the fuck out of there, because it's an authentic experience and shit. And there's all the Mexicans sitting around, and it's like, they hurry the fuck up. I'm trying to mop these floors and go home, bitch. And I'm like, all right, I got you. I'm fucking eating. And so I went to go get food, and I love mussels. I love mussels. So they have these buttered mussels, and they're the dirtiest. I make mussels all the time, and these are the dirtiest fucking mussels I've ever seen, but I'm hungry. And you're supposed to de-beard these mussels, like take the fucking, they have these like beards they call them, because shit gets caught inside of their shell, and you're supposed to pull them out, and you're supposed to scrub the barnacles over them. I grabbed a plate full of them and started eating them before I noticed the full barnacles were growing out of the bottom of them still. Like, the sauce that they were soaking in is all over them. And then I bite into one, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I pull a whole chunk of beard out of my mouth, and then I spit it out, and I was like, well, it's not like I'm going to complain. I showed up at the fucking Chinese buffet 3 minutes before they closed, and I'm trying to eat 5 plates of food. So I ignore it, and I just keep eating. I'm pounding like peanut chicken, and it's all dried up, shitty.
Are you eating the mussels still?
I ate like 4 of them before I realized how fucked they were, because I was just so hungry. I'm just throwing food into my face. And then I looked at them like, oh, they didn't clean them at all before they threw them in the butter. Oh, all right, well, I'm going to pay for this tomorrow. And I did. And then fucking, I'm like eating crusty peanut chicken that's supposed to be nice, like saucy, but it's like burning in the bottom of the steam pan because they're just waiting to mop the floor and clean up before we fucking leave. And then I ate like something else and almost threw up. It was the spinach. It was the cream spinach. It was like swimming in like green water. And I like grabbed the dry part of
This
it.
looked appetizing to
No,
you.
but I was hungry, and
God,
there
this
was
sounds
so little
awful.
choices.
Should have
and-
just gone to Chipotle, dude.
Yeah,
Bro, we were gonna, but there was 15 fucking minutes, and they were about to close, and I was like, I'm not
Was
gonna
it
be able to
worth
get
it?
through this fucking thing. So I eat this, and my stomach immediately is just like,
Because
oh,
everything
God.
you ate is still alive.
Yeah. There was definitely microcosms of fucking bacteria growing inside of this food. It was bad, and now I've been paying for it all day. My stomach is flipped over sideways.
What
Pat,
happened
don't
when
you?
you took a shit?
God, it was so fucking brutal. I woke up needing to take a shit, bro. I was fucking in bed, and then I woke up like both eyes open at the same time. My stomach's like, oh, you're gonna shit right now in your bed, and I was like, oh no! And I jump like fucking almost crash into like careening into my fucking door, like running full blast, pants already down. Like as soon as the butt cheeks hover over the
Sweating your ass
as
off.
soon as I enter the bathroom, I just like the farts start going, and then as soon as I hover my butt cheeks over the toilet, it's just a spray of like you took a sledgehammer to the side of a fucking fire hydrant and clipped the edge off. It just like shoots into the toilet bowl. There's fucking
Jesus Christ.
corn in there. I haven't eaten corn in months, and there's fucking worms crawling around, and there's mussels are in there, and they're fucking singing little shit dances, and it was a fucking nightmare, man. And it's been like that all day. It finally calmed down, thank God, after I got over here, but it's been a disaster of for sure food poisoning. Mild. I didn't throw up, but I woke
but
up
it's spicy
shitting
poop.
diarrhea.
Spicy, poopy shit.
I wonder if those places ever get like a proper health inspection. Or if
Well, let me tell you a story.
Absolutely not.
I have a story. So I know someone that's a health inspector, and he told me a really fucked up story about a Chinese buffet.
Will
Now-
you say which one, or do you know which one?
I don't know which one. He's not allowed to tell.
Continue.
So basically, there was this one that was getting a lot of complaints because people were getting sick, and it was one of those kind of like Chinese buffets on Glenway. And
Probably the same fucking one that I went to.
So people were getting sick there, and he was called in, and he searched around the whole place. The food was fine, everything was fine. Like they couldn't figure out what it was. They came back because they got another complaint because someone else got sick, and they finally decided to take a look in the ADDICT. And in the ADDICT, they realized that these people that were running the restaurant were raising chickens in the ceiling. God. And they were shitting and pissing so much up there that it was seeping through the ceiling and leaking into the food.
Oh my god!
It's been
What
going
the
on
fuck?
for years.
Did that place get fucking boarded shut and burned to the ground?
It is no longer in business.
Thank you, God, and I hope I never fucking ate there. Jesus Christ. How would you not
Was it in
notice, like,
Cincinnati?
bark, bark,
Yes.
bark, and then
Yes.
fucking, like, tapping on the ceiling? Like, what the fuck is that?
It was in Cincinnati.
How would you not know that?
Maybe they played really loud music.
Oh, you think that they just played that fucking, like, traditional...
Yeah,
like,
that traditional Chinese music.
yeah,
you know?
like,
What are you
super
talking
loud
about?
Four-stringed
chimes.
guitar.
Yeah.
Wow, guys.
What?
Nothing.
Pat's like, it would be so weird for them to play Chinese music at the Chinese buffet.
No, they don't play Chinese music there.
What do they play, Pat? It's not... I don't come in there and hear Kesha.
No, it's usually Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah?
Only?
Yeah.
Which album?
Exclusively.
I've only heard Breaking Benjamin. Usually The Diary of Jane every time I walk inside a Chinese buffet.
You
And
wanna
it's
hear-
like the song I'm eating, and I'm so concentrated on eating and eating so much so fast that I don't pay attention that the song has been playing the entire time I've been eating.
Just one song on
So
repeat?
I hear it and I'm like, oh, Breaking Benjamin. I love this song. Yeah, Diary of Jane. Yeah. And then I eat real quick, and all the sound gets drowned out with all the chewing and all the food that I'm just eating really quick. And then when I'm done eating, the song is still playing. So is the song playing the whole time? I was
Wait, hold on.
about to break.
yeah.
Are you
love your guys'
insinuating that you eat loud enough to drown out noises around you?
Absolutely, especially at Chinese buffets.
I think Pat proved this before with the mic checks before we fucking turned the mics on, because he was chewing with his mouth shut, and I swear to God, even if I didn't have earphones on and I was downstairs, I could probably hear him. Even if I was taking a loud, powerful Chinese buffet shit in your bathroom downstairs while you're upstairs chewing, I bet I could hear you.
Patrick,
What?
Do we have some food?
you're fucking gross.
I know, I'm pretty fucking nasty. Well, anyways, would you, I mean, knowing that a place had chicken feces leaking from the ceiling, and you're hungry enough, like you just were talking about, that you didn't give a shit, and you said you had barnacles and shit all over your food, would you eat at this place knowing that there was
No.
chickens being raised?
No,
in the
Patrick.
ceiling? No?
Of course I wouldn't. What the fuck? Would you?
Yeah, I guess. Why not?
You're insane.
Why? Look,
No, you wouldn't.
you don't think I would?
No.
No.
Who
Why
in their
wouldn't
right
I?
mind would?
No one in their right mind walking into a store with someone telling them, hey, there's currently chickens up there shitting and pissing, and it's actually
Well, they're-
leaking. You
You'd
can
be like-
see
you'd
it
be
falling
like-
into
You'd be
your
like,
food.
so you guys are still open though, right?
Yeah, you guys,
You guys figured it out, right? It's all good now?
you guys cleaned it up, right?
You converted the parking lot into a chicken coop?
Well, the chickens aren't up there still, right? Yeah, so
So this is a refurbished place.
yeah. Did you ever eat at a Golden Corral before?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Dude, those places are fucking nasty.
I
too.
hate those fucking places
Hey,
so much.
but they've got good steak.
I've
Dude.
never had their steak. They've always looked really nasty. I won't lie. They look like roast beef covered in gravy.
If I
Ugh.
if I go
Steak.
to a place that serves steak, I'm ordering it. And I've never had a gravy slab of meat steak from
Even
Golden
if there was
Corral.
chickens being raised in the ceiling.
If this is still a
We
scenario
got
where
steak.
if this is still a scenario where you said it's refurbished and it's no longer there, then 100% yeah, because
Okay,
it's
we
now
can go there
clean.
together then, because
Is that what
Pat,
happened at refurbished
really quickly.
Golden Corral?
Pat,
What?
me and you, really quickly, just the two of us, man to man, me and you.
Oh man, this
would
is
you rather?
happening.
Would you rather eat only anchovies for every single meal that you've ever eaten ever, just anchovies, or every restaurant, and you could go to any restaurant that you wanted to,
Fridays
or
including.
even your own kitchen, wherever you're going to eat, there's chickens being raised in the ceiling, and their feces and piss is being seeped from the ceiling into your food. What would you rather do, Pat?
I guess I'd take the chicken shitting. I mean, it's just...
Really? You'd go with food
What are the
poisoning and
chances that
possible
they're-
death every day
Let
than
me
like...
ask you this. What are the chances that their shit piles are seeping through...
100%.
Did you just
The
say that
100%.
people were
That's
complaining
part of it.
about it?
Yeah, I wasn't, though.
You're a fucking animal, Patrick.
I was
get
not
it.
complaining
They
about it.
should've-
I never said anything. I never got sick.
They should have made you
Did
eat
you eat
upstairs
there?
with the chickens, and if you needed to use the bathroom, you got to shit on the floor like them.
Did
No,
you eat
I never
there?
ate there. I don't.
Can
even,
you
I don't know which
imagine
place
how
it is.
what kind of world it would be if you could just take a dump wherever?
I imagine the
It'd
same
be
kind of
fucking
world.
gross, dude.
Imagine you're mid conversation with someone and they take off their pants, raptor it real quick, and just fucking right in front
Yeah,
of
what
you.
if it's a really
Still talking to
nasty
you.
one too? Like, what if it was Cody's?
What if it's Cody's spicy
gross
enchilada
muscles
Chinese
farce?
buffet
and
shit.
I'd
shit.
probably stand there and laugh uncontrollably until I fell on the floor.
But it's normal.
All right, here's a topic that
But it's
grosses everybody
then
out.
I would be completely unfazed because it's absolutely normal to me, Patrick.
That makes sense.
Okay, so here's the thing that happens in the world, and it's very sexist, and we're going to break it today on the Bastard Sermon. Guys are allowed to talk about shits all day. Rachel, tell us about your foulest, nastiest, ugliest dump that you've ever
Oh,
taken.
this is gonna be
It's so
good.
sexist that women can't talk about their shits, and we're going to break that today on the Bastard Sermon. Rachel, not to put you on the spot or anything, go ahead. So it's a big day for women here.
We are a groundbreaking and political podcast.
Yeah. That's how we're going to be listed on iTunes from here on out.
What's the nastiest thing you've seen
Facts
in a
and
woman's
history.
bathroom?
No, Patrick. I know you don't want to hear this. You can plug your ears.
No, that's
Um,
okay. You can just
Rachel,
tell us about your
go
biggest
ahead.
poop.
Biggest log, if you will.
Nah,
You ever clogged the toilet
What?
before?
You can't come on the Bastard Sermon and talk
Be
about
honest,
your shits.
have you
You just
ever-
heard me talk about a shit that felt like a fucking fire hydrant being split open and leaking in the toilet, but you can't talk about one poop. Come on now.
Well, let me ask you this: like, do girls clog toilets
Yeah.
like a lot?
Yeah.
Have you?
Have you ever clogged a toilet?
Tell me
No,
about
I
that
don't
shit
think
you said
so.
you saw at your work.
What?
You said you saw a crazy amount of shit all over the place at your work, and they didn't flush a toilet or some shit. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the women at my work frequently like break toilets and rip them off the hinges and
How?
stuff. And like,
With
I
their
don't
brute
fucking know,
strength,
man.
dude.
It's crazy. It's weird.
What kind of giant fucking Mack truck sized women are you working with?
One of them at one point like snapped one of the arms off. Like, you know how like a toilet seat is like a C? Well, like
God.
if you snapped one of like the arms off, it was
They
I don't know,
should-
it was fucking crazy. It was weird. I was like, how'd this happen?
They
Was
should
there-
figure out who's doing that and then inflate a kid's swimming pool in the back of your work and make them shit in there from now on. Because they need to shit like animals from now. If they're going to break like
Fill
toilet
it with
bowls and
sand.
Yeah,
what are
one
they
time,
doing?
Someone shit all over the toilet seat, like everywhere. Like I don't know how it happened.
Was it you?
No, but someone like pulled their pants down and like rocketed straight out the butthole. Like they didn't even bother to sit on the toilet because it was like all.
You think they got some lift off, like both feet in the air?
I don't know. But
Question.
They like half-assedly cleaned it up, but like it just like they just ended up kind of smearing it more like onto
God.
the seat, and
The
they didn't
fuck?
flush the toilet, and then they just left. And they left it there.
Oh, that's
Ew.
brutal.
Yeah, it's nasty.
All right, so back to your
Have
shits,
you-
Rachel.
If have you ever had a disgusting shit on those work toilets because you knew of the history of toilet mistreatment and you knew you could get away with it?
Meaning, like, she could shit on it, knowing that she could leave a mess and
Yes.
get away with it
Yep.
and pretend it wasn't her. Mm-hmm. How often does that happen? I bet that happens a lot.
Shit on top of another shit and pretend like you
bet
didn't
that
take a
me
shit.
doing that happens a lot.
No, I just bet that happens to girls all the time because I hear girls' bathrooms can be really gross.
Yeah, they're super gross.
Yeah, don't you care about the environment? I always shit on top of another shit. It saves the water, and then I leave it in there for somebody else to admire
Do
later.
you really?
Water.
I try to make
Have you really
artistic
shit on
shits.
top of someone else's shit?
No, Pat, I'm not a fucking animal.
Don't
but it'd
lie.
be funny
Can
to
you
say that I
imagine
did.
if their poopy shit water like
Splashed
splashed on your ass? Like
they call it Neptune's kiss.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Neptune's
I'm
brown
sure
kiss.
that meme does.
Neptune's brown kiss.
I think we know the name of the episode.
So let me ask you this: so would you you're telling me that if you're like, let's say you got a shit real bad,
I shit in public toilets all the time. I don't have any problem with it.
but let's say it's clogged. It's the only toilet they have. It's clogged already with shit.
and there's shit on the toilet seat.
Like, are you gonna raptor it over there and drop that deuce?
I mean, I'll shit in the urinal first.
Have you shit in a
and
urinal
then make
before?
super eye contact with the next person walking in. Like, yeah, I'm doing this. What are you doing? Yeah, this is happening. It's happening whether or not you're here. You can walk in and walk out. I don't care. You can piss next to me. I'm taking a shit right now. Go look at that toilet. Tell me you'll shit in it. I'm not.
I can see
you shit in the sink first.
I can imagine you pants down around ankles,
not worthy.
cupping nuts and dick and yelling at
Just
someone.
being
eye
aggressively
contact like
yelling.
That. Yeah.
I'll fucking cry transgender and walk straight into the women's bathroom. Like, I don't give a fuck. Nah, I ain't taking no shits on top of another shits covered in. I'll do the fucking octagon of toilet paper. And
what
then,
if you
like,
walk in the women's restroom and everything is covered in shit?
I was
Like even the floor, like you
it's
walk
fucking
on the
way
floor
worse.
and it's like shit.
Taking a shit on the floor
You
of the
slip on the
establishment
shit
because
on the
obviously
ground.
that's where they want you to shit. No one wants to clean the toilets. Fine, you're getting shit right here in the middle of the bathroom hallway. Fuck your place of business.
You
Damn. So have you ever shit in a urinal?
I mean, maybe when I was in like fucking kindergarten as a
So by
goof.
maybe you mean you did for
I
sure?
don't remember shitting in a urinal,
Have
but
you?
it would be way
No.
funnier if I said I did. So yeah, I definitely did.
I haven't.
Have you ever seen this shit in a urinal?
Yeah, dude, I've seen a couple. They used to, when I was in middle school, they used to drop logs in the fucking urinals all the time. I would see fat old like deuces in there, no
Thanks,
toilet
South
paper.
Park.
I'm like, you savages, what are you doing? Like, there's no toilet paper even.
What
like,
if they shit in the toilet and they picked it up with their hands, and then they brought
started eating it?
no, and then they picked it and they traveled to the urinal, you know? So maybe the toilet paper was in the toilet, you know?
They made
So
little
you're saying
balls
they-
out of their shit, like little clay figures and shit.
Little origami
Put 'em
shit
in-
figures, and
yeah,
then they put them
put
on
it in the
top of
urinal.
all the urinals.
Make little urinal shit cakes.
Piss on the urinal shit cake and try to break it up. Do you ever do that? Okay, is there ever
You
a
ever
log
do
in the
that?
toilet and then you go to piss and then like you got a hard stream, so you're trying to break that log in half with your piss stream? You ever done that?
Yes.
One? Yeah, dude, for
I
sure
think
I
everyone
have.
who has a penis has done that.
Yeah, dude.
I've
of
also
course.
tried to cut any like
Toilet paper?
old and weak urinal soaps that are there for the scent. Like if they've been there too long and they're starting to crumble, you got to try to pierce through or split it.
You ever try to piss pressure wash the little shit flakes off the back of the bowl?
Oh God!
Jesus Christ. I like when you're out in the, like, let's say you're out in a forest and you get to take a piss. I like pissing on anthills. That's pretty funny.
Do you really piss on anthills?
There are
Aren't you
ant
worried they're gonna like
activists.
travel up your
My piss
pee
train? The
and
fucking
get into
ants?
and get into your penis?
What
hole?
kind of
Fucking
mermaid ants are you watching out in the nature
I
right
don't know,
now?
man. There's a lot of crazy shit out there.
There's a specific parasite that
So
does that.
in
like
your
the rain
world, Rachel,
forest.
there are ants that crawl up pee streams.
Swim up, Patrick. Let's not be ridiculous.
Yeah, come on.
Do they
Fucking
clump
crazy.
up like they do in the wild?
They're not just walking on water.
They swim up it, you know.
Across the pressure stream
Yeah.
of piss into your...
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be fucking terrifying
they-
to get that parasite.
they're
That's
bullet
probably
ants?
in Australia. Like if that's gonna be anywhere, it's gonna be in Australia.
Do you guys know
shit.
about bullet ants?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Those
Don't they
things
clip their
look
heads off?
Brutal. They have a whole... well, they fucking use them as stitches.
Yeah.
Or no. I'm thinking of something else because the
No,
bullet
that's
ants...
what they do.
No. The bullet ants are so painful that it feels like you're getting shot with a bullet. And they have this like ritual that they make these fucking 15-year-old kids go through where they put them in a like glove.
Dude,
Like
I've seen that.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
fucking
most
crazy.
horrible shit that I've ever seen ever. Like...
And they had like a random white guy host do it, and
Yeah.
he was like literally crying in pain.
And it's not just pain temporarily, it's like hours of pain.
Yeah.
Like hours and hours for every fucking bite.
Can you look that video
You
up,
want to
Rachel?
hear even some that back to that Vice series? It wasn't Hamilton's. It was some other guy. He went to a country where this tribe regularly yearly climbs down this mountainside. It's scary ass mountainside using a ladder made of
To get that psychedelic honey?
Yes, the psychedelic honey, and these the hunters that go down there to do that, their hands are fucking monstrous. Like each finger is the size of a brat.
They're just picking
because
up
of the
fucking
fucking bee
beehives.
stings. Yeah,
I found
dude,
the,
it's so
glove.
intense, man. It is so fucking intense.
And it makes you trip balls. I think that it's like on some level poisonous too. Like if you eat
yeah,
too much
yeah.
of it.
The dude was eating it, and he was freaking out about, like, he was talking about how it kind of burns going down and all this and whatnot. But he didn't really feel anything. But the longer he talked to the cameraman, the more of a trip it was hitting him.
Apparently
and it
it's
just kept
not a
getting
fun-
harder and harder.
Apparently it's not a fun trip, like from what I've read up on it.
Here,
like
I'm
it's
He
gonna-
seemed to be having a good old time.
right. I guess it depends on how much you do it.
I got the video of the guy with the
bullet ants? Oh fuck! Can you turn it around? Please?
And it'll last for 24 hours.
Pain?
Yeah, the pain.
I'm trying to make
The
sure
dance
I'm
ends,
where it's about to.
and I'm alone with my pain.
He sounds like he's narrating
It's
an
like
emo
Chris
music
Angel.
video.
How long does this last?
Sorry, it doesn't give me enough.
24 hours.
How long has it been?
Less than an hour.
Dude's walking around shirtless with his hands all fucked up. Nat Geo.
I'm starting to lose my grip on reality. I want the gloves off.
Oh. Ouch.
I really want the gloves off.
Describe what you're seeing on his hands, because I can't really see it from here.
He's wearing really thin gloves on his hands, like latex gloves filled with
And he has the
clothing.
ants in him?
Yeah.
This isn't the video actually that I saw.
This isn't the one I saw either, but this is fucked. It's like a white dude.
I had hoped
Shaved
this
head.
ordeal would simply earn me some trust. But I've bitten off more than I can chew.
Sounds like the ants did, bro.
But oops.
Here, in a forest in Brazil,
Probably got this music going on in his head.
I'm losing my mind.
Probably way fucking worse than this goofy Nat Geo fucking edit. I wonder if they show his hands after. I want to just see what his fucking hands look like.
It feels so good.
He's got his hands in a fucking cooler full of ice,
He's got his, don't lie, he's got his hands on.
crying.
Anything this good.
He's touching a big old dick. I've never seen anything so amazing.
Yeah,
feels
without
so
our
good.
Hands.
like without telling what he's saying, like what's going on, it
That
sounds kind
sounds
of
pretty dirty.
It hurts so bad. Oh, this feels so
He's got
good.
his hands in a cooler.
We gotta get this soundbite. Can you fucking send this video?
You can hear it fine.
No, I'm saying I gotta get this soundbite for the fucking new soundboard.
How do we get on the boat?
What boat, bro?
I'm just crying.
That's the end of the video?
I don't know. There's
You
a
need
bunch
to get
of
the
these.
sound clip of how do we get on the boat? How do we get on the boat?
What's that from?
That's what he just said.
That
Oh,
sounds like a
shit.
quote that would be on like Lost.
Easy, fella. Easy.
Ready for this?
One way to find out.
All right, keep going, guys. I gotta fix this.
It's all good. You'll get it taken care of. What were we talking about before that?
The psychedelic bees.
Oh, yeah. Do we have more to talk about on that, or are we going into our next thing?
No, but we could talk about that bufo teen.
Oh, the fucking... Are you talking about
The bullfrog naturally occurring DMT.
That's some crazy shit. So there's these frogs, and I think it's Mexico. They're every fucking where. Like, you just drive down the road, there's 100 of them hopping around and shit like this. And if I'm not mistaken, it's newly discovered, like, last 20, 30 years, that you could actually smoke the secretions from these frogs, and it will blast you off into the DMT realms. It's got, I think, 5-MeO-DMT or 5-NM-DMT. It's one or the other, I think. And it's also poisonous if you ingest it, which is why the frogs secrete it. They get scared, and like if you play with them, they'll secrete this white shit on their backs. And if you eat it, it'll get you real sick. If you eat enough of it, you could die, and I'm sure you'll trip balls along the way. But there was this one dude that figured out that you could actually take it, put it on a piece of glass, let it dry out, scrape it up, and then put it in a pipe and smoke it, and you'll fucking blast on off to the next dimension. And they said that it's actually dangerous to get to get high off of this because people have such intense trips that they do this out in the woods, and they'll wander off and fall down and hit their head, and they'll fucking asphyxiate on their own vomit. Like, they'll fall on their back and then fucking just throw up a bunch because it makes you just like throw up and shit your brains out and all this crazy shit. But you have these really intense psychedelic experiences.
Yeah,
and
the
heard all
videos
these
of the
stories.
trips were crazy.
Yeah, they heard. When I said they, I guess Vice got wind of this, and they sent Hamilton down for his Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia thing. And he follows the trail to find out the first dude that had smoked it and fucking like actually do it himself by the end of the whole thing. It's a fucking crazy documentary.
It really was. It showed pretty much every kind of trip you could go through if done right. Like the first guy shook a little, but he didn't make any noise. And when he came out of it, he seemed completely at peace. And then the second guy to do it is what the guy who's like the spiritual guide who like walks these people through this crazy trip. It's what he calls screamers. And this dude hit it, and he laid down, and then he rolled onto his stomach, shook uncontrollably, fell into the water face first. Then he vomited, and he was just screaming as if he was in some sort of horrific nightmare. But when he came out of it, he said he felt great. He said it was some sort of inner demon that he had to deal with and had to let out.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was. And then when Hamilton actually went to fucking do it after freaking out watching that guy lose his goddamn mind, trying to figure out if it's a good idea to do it or not, he goes through with it. He lays down after hitting it, completely still, and he just says in like a metronomic tone, love. Love.
I'm starting to hear radio signals in our thing.
Love.
That's because of this.
Over and over again.
Is it because of that?
Interesting.
Yeah. It was so weird. And when he came out of it, he didn't even know he was saying that over and over again. But he was also saying that I didn't know that love was quantifiable up until this moment. Like if somebody baked a cookie and said they made it with love, I would never accept love as an actual ingredient, but I totally understand this.
He was really happy at the end of it. He was just like
Yeah.
smiling. He looked like he was in a daze and shit like that. And it looked like he had a fucking great time doing it. He also did another weird one recently where he went to the middle of like the Carpathian Mountains, which I think is in the Ukraine. I might be wrong about that, but I think it's in the Ukraine. Anyways, he finds this hermit dude that lives in the middle of nowhere and picks the Amanita muscaria mushrooms, which are the Mario mushrooms, the red caps with the little white things. And those mushrooms are dangerous because they release a cytotoxin that is actually, it'll fucking destroy your brain and it'll kill you. And you're not supposed to eat them. Reindeers love them. I'm sure you probably heard Rogan talk about the Santa Claus mushroom, they call them, or the Mario mushroom, the fly Garrick, or the Amanita muscaria. It's all the same thing. These reindeer will fucking eat these mushrooms, and they love them so much that reindeer will actually, after they watch another reindeer eat an Amanita muscaria, they'll kick the shit out of the other reindeers to fight over who gets to drink the reindeer's piss afterwards because of how much they love the Amanita muscaria, and they fucking trip balls off of it because I guess it doesn't harm them for some reason. But this hermit that lives in the middle of fucking nowhere in the Carpathian Mountains, he fucking... I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by hearing that radio signal.
I was going to say the radio's in the background a little bit. Just bear with us, guys. We apologize. Unfortunately, it's not much we can really do about it.
Take a break in a minute and see if we can figure it out, but I'll just get to the end of this real quick. So he's keeping these mushrooms and like alcohol. He puts like grain liquor into these jars and then puts the Amanita muscarias in there. And he's this crazy fucking like Ukrainian dude with no teeth, and he's all fucked up looking, and he's living in like a literal shack where he dries mushrooms with his lady. And he seems like he calls Hamilton a nerd. He was like, he looks like a nerd. And then he fucking like all this other shit. And then like he just seems like a scary fucking dude to be around. He seems like really fucked in the head. And he's like encouraging people to eat these. And then it smash cuts to a doctor talking about it, and he's like, yeah, I'm sure you could get high after your brain dies a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure you could get high off of it. And he was like, it produces cytotoxin that could fucking like permanently do nerve damage, all this other shit. And it was like, don't eat these fucking things. Like the science shows that you shouldn't eat them, but this dude's like an advocate of doing it. There was only a teaser for it from what I could find from YouTube. I wasn't able to watch the full thing, but that was the gist of it. All right, we're gonna try
to. He goes into it and actually eats it.
I was curious because it kind of cliffhangered on the part where he's about to almost. But we really need to figure out this radio issue, and we're at about the halfway point anyways. So sorry about the radio signal. We'll be back. We're back. Hopefully we don't have any fucking more technical difficulties. Hope you guys didn't hear the radio throughout that whole thing. Pat has a question.
Yeah. Would you... I don't know how to really ask. Like, have you ever wondered what it's like to get bitten by a rattlesnake?
Fuck that. Sounds horrible.
That would be fucking horrible. But I've always wondered, like, whenever someone's walking out there and they actually get bit by it, like, what happens? Like, are they feeling the venom when it actually goes through them, or what?
Depends on their tolerance to venom, first off. Did you ever see Getting High Off Snake Venom?
No, explain.
I hate to make this whole thing about Vice documentaries, but a lot of them are so fucking good. There's this crazy dude that's American that lives in the UK. He's in his, like, I want to say 50s, maybe late 40s. And he looks like a young dude. He's like out there boxing, skateboarding and shit. And he collects snakes, like some of the most poisonous, dangerous fucking snakes in the entire world. He's got snakes that he wanted to show people what the venom does in the beginning of the documentary. So like he pricks himself open and fills a shot glass with his blood, and then he milks one of his snakes. I forget the name of it. He said it's
so much worse than it is.
Well, he said that this one's particularly dangerous because it can spin its fangs around and put its fangs through its own lip into your like hand while you're trying to milk it, and he has to really work hard to not have that happen. So he milks a snake, gets like a couple drops of this venom, and he was like, "I'm going to show you what this particular venom does." And he drops like a drop into his shot glass full of blood, and then it turns into like blood pudding. Like that's what it's really doing inside of your body. And he, I guess, when he was a kid, was obsessed with reptiles, and there was this snake handler in Florida. He was a very famous snake handler. I forget his name. And he trained under him when he was a kid. He was unpacking like tarantulas and fucking rattlesnakes and all this crazy shit for this reptile exhibit down in Florida. And this dude believed in the healing power of venom, that if you started injecting yourself with small amounts of venom and progressively getting it larger and larger, that you would not only build up an immunity to the snake venom if you were ever bit by one of these things, but it also somehow makes you healthier because you're constantly putting your fucking immune system through the ringer. And he was like, I'm the only person alive right now doing it, and I got my like genome results back where they test your DNA and they look at like how your body's aging, and he said that I have the according to him and according to his doctor, allegedly he has the DNA of a fucking 20-year-old man, and he's in his late 40s, early 50s, something like that, and he's out super active all the time. But he's fucked up a couple times, and he's like injecting himself with too much, and he gets these big, giant fucking like volcano lesion boil things, and like he almost lost his leg or arm or something, and he has all these crazy fucking stories about doing it. But he injects himself with these dangerous ass poisons, or not poisons, they're venoms, all the time, and like is basically a giant human experiment for it. A shout out to that fucking crazy dude getting high on snake venom. If you guys want to watch it on YouTube, it should still be out there, or vice.com.
Now,
but
you are...
I imagine it's fucked if you don't have that tolerance and you get bit by a rattlesnake.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that sounds like that's the only guy doing it. So I wouldn't ever say it depends on your tolerance. You'd probably just die. Like, if that guy specifically got bit,
well,
he might
definitely
be fine.
depends on how much venom. Well, it definitely depends on how much venom it injects into you when it bites you. It probably depends on your body mass. It probably depends on if it's a baby or if it's full grown. I mean, there's probably a lot of things that go into it. But 9 times out of 10, you're pretty fucked if you get bit by one. I'm sure that you have a limited time frame to get to the doctor.
Yeah, and then only so many places have the venom itself, the anti-venom.
They're running out at a rapid rate.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's interesting that you were talking about, I don't know if I mentioned this in the podcast before, but it was interesting you were talking about how he had to inject himself over time to build an immunity over it. But Steve-O from Jackass said every time in Wild Boys, if you ever remember that show where he'd be traveling in different countries to see animals.
Drinking the water?
Yeah, he would drink the water every single place he would go, so he would build up an immunity. He only got sick one time.
He said it was the first thing that he did as soon as he got to the hotel. Just turn that faucet on and fill up a cup and fucking chug it down.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
It's dangerous.
It's super really dangerous.
Yeah, he's done a lot of dangerous things, though. Let's be real.
Dude, that latest one where he set himself on fire with jet fuel.
Yeah, what a maniac.
And he got like these crazy looking... he got these crazy
so
looking burn
Patrick,
boils,
can you pull
right?
that up so Rachel can see it?
And it's got giant like clear
Disgusting.
sacks of pus and shit. He was fucked. He had to get skin grafts.
Play the video of him talking about it while he still has the boils. Like, because I guess he didn't know that, like, when you have those type of burns, he was like, dude, they still hurt. Well, yeah, your skin's still burning. It's like, it's still at a higher body temperature than the rest of you, so it's actually burning the rest of the flesh around you. And he had some he was like, I haven't even seen some shit like this. And he holds his fucking arm up, and he has a big, giant bubble filled with pus, and the fucking sun's going through it, and then he moves, and all the pus drains to the other side of the boil. It is fucking gnarly. This is hard to watch. Pull it up, though. While you're pulling it up, though, I guess we'll keep describing it. Apparently, he laid out jet fuel and did a snow angel in it, and then lit himself on fire. All right, go ahead and play it.
I owe you guys all an apology for telling you to find out how I got burned with a link that went to a video that didn't tell you how I got burned. That linked to the video that did. I'm so sorry, but this link is really nothing but Pause, anyone?
Fucking nasty. Yeah, look at this.
This is after he's got the skin grafts from fucking 9 different corpses on him. Look to see if you can find the one before he goes to the hospital.
Do you think it's weird to have a skin graft of someone who's dead? Like you feel like Frankenstein?
I mean,
they'd be rare as fuck. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah,
Steve-O's doing with Jackass.
How metal I am.
Just like it would be kind of cool to like have any sort of
baby
organ
flesh on my
from
back.
like another person, you know, like have
It'd be
someone's
crazy.
other eyeball inside of you. Or...
I feel like it would just be absolutely crazy.
It would be wild,
totally
yeah.
Crazy experience.
You finding it, Pat?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Just keep talking.
Right on. I don't want to change topics on this one, so I guess other crazy shit that you guys have seen Steve-O do. We've got a trillion of them.
Like try to kill himself.
Here's
Oh, that's the one I was talking about, where you can actually see the.
You see how
the pus
underneath him it's just filled with pus. He's got all these bubbles over here.
Yeah.
I wonder how that affects his tattoos.
I mean, his tattoos are all fucked anyways. Do you remember in Jackass 1 where he gets in the fucking Jeep and they go into the middle of like the desert where there's all those like hills and shit and they're bouncing up and down and he gets a smiley face tattoo in the back of the Jeep? Shit, or he got his own face tattooed on his back.
That was actually a really well done tattoo, though.
That's a very famous artist that did that. I can't remember his name. Super famous portrait artist, but he got his own. He's got the him tattoo, but a dick at the end of the pentagram, like the goofiest fucking tattoos ever. He's got like a baby getting fucked or something on his arm, like crazy shit. His tattoos all suck.
You want to hear an even worse one? Brandon Novak, Bam Margera's friend, has got the outline of Bam Margera's semen tattooed on his arm.
What?
Of course he does.
He they decided to do it on a dare, and he had to like not look at Bam, and Bam had to look away and lay there as Novak or Bam Margera's jerking off so he can nut on Novak's wrist to get it tattooed, and now he's got the tattooed outline of the jizz spots all over his arm.
One of the nastiest things I've ever seen in that show was it was Viva La Bam and Don Vito. Remember that fat fuck?
Of course.
He pulled out his foot, and Bam saw it, like him and Ryan Dunn saw his foot, and they were so grossed out by it that they puked on his foot.
Yep.
They puked on his foot. It was so fucking nasty.
Didn't he go to jail for like molesting kids or something?
Yeah, he was hooking up with some 15-year-old or some shit.
I thought he just touched some girl inappropriately. I didn't know. I didn't think it was child pedophilia.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
What was wrong with that guy?
He was a fat, fucked in the head Italian.
Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. He did.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, he's been dead for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. I'm just looking up. Why is Don Vito in jail? At trial in December 2007, Margera was ultimately found guilty of 2 counts of sexual assault on a minor and sentenced to 10 years of serious probation, which banned him from further portraying Don Vito in any capacity. He was also sentenced to as a register as a sex offender in Colorado and his native Pennsylvania.
What a monster.
Dang. He is a fucking ugly motherfucker, though.
Yeah, he has like one eye floating off into the distance while he has one eye looking kind of sort of at you.
He's got that dent in his back. You remember that?
Yeah, dude. He's a fucking gross human being.
I could just remember that episode where they tore out his wall and put a garage door in there so they could go in there at any time. He was sleeping and they just blew a hole through his wall.
They took what am I trying to say? A bobcat, and they fucking dug the wall off with it.
While he was
like in there and
sleeping.
shit.
Yeah, and they just ripped the wall off, and then they built a garage door.
My favorite was when they dug a fucking hole. They dug a hole in his backyard to make a tunnel that went underneath his house to dig a hole into his bedroom, and they came out of his bedroom.
They were wearing like miner hats and shit.
They were fucking throwing his clothes out of the fucking window of his room and shit. Yeah.
They did so many fucking good things.
Tormented that dude.
How should I look this up? Don Vito. Viva La Bam.
But if you want to see something very serious though from anything from Viva La Bam, I would recommend watching Brandon Novak's Story to Sobriety. It's like an hour long on YouTube. It's super fucking powerful.
I thought that dude was just gonna die one day.
He's been clean for like 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, he was like a crazy like everything addict, like heroin, fucking meth, PCP, everything. Did you find
I truly recommend
Brandon Novak.
Yeah, I really recommend watching that hour long.
What's it called again?
I'm not sure. I can look it up, but it's not even really a documentary. It's just him sitting in a chair talking to you.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And telling his story, and I
don't remember the name.
It's just super powerful, and I believe it's called. This is it. Addiction. Tomorrow is going to be better by Brandon Novak.
This isn't the video, but it's a video of them throwing fucking trash in his room. They broke a hole through his ceiling, and they just keep throwing trash.
And he has this little shitty house too. They're just fucking destroying.
Now we can go back to fucking shit up and
Listen to how he talks.
Dude, Bam Margera has changed.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's a fucking maniac. Even more so.
He looks so much like Phil now. It's crazy.
Have you ever looked up his rap music?
Have you ever seen Steve-O's rap music?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
pretty
promise
bad.
you. I promise you anything that Bam Margera's is 1,000 times worse.
I don't think so. Because
I do because
So
I've
I never
listened to
heard of
both
it.
of them, and I
Okay.
can tell you right now, Bam Margera's is
I've
way
never-
worse.
I've never heard it. Let me look it up.
But
Margera.
if we're gonna talk about trash rap albums, Macho Man Randy Savage is probably has the best one.
He has a rap album?
It's gorgeous.
How the
this
fuck is
it's
this?
flawless.
How have I never heard
Luke.
of this?
is this one of his songs? Bend my PP to my hind.
So I can fuck myself. Yeah,
Please
Okay.
play that right now.
I want
Is
to
it
bend my
meant to
dick
be
so
a
I can fuck
parody?
myself.
Let's
Not
absorb
meant
this
to
for a
be
minute.
No, this is real.
Hold on, let's absorb this.
AKA Fuckface Unstoppable.
That was the name of the band.
Is that him?
Yes.
Wait, Fuckface Unstoppable, that was, they were playing recently, weren't they?
Yo, check it.
I don't follow that garbage band.
So I could fuck myself. I would've bent my dick around the back of my ass so I could fuck myself. Oh, hell no!
This is horrible.
It's
so
shitty. I still
bad.
think Steve-O's is worse.
It's so
I'm
bad.
gonna bend that shit. It ain't gay. You can call me a criminal. You can call the cops.
How much does he like?
Steve-O's is worse, man. I'm telling you.
I thought this was way worse than Steve-O's.
Play Steve-O's real quick.
Okay.
Just a side by side. Right from the
That was
gate.
horrible.
Is it just like if you go through like nowadays, if you have money, if you go through like a mental breakdown or drug addiction, you just make a
Drop a rap album.
Yeah, you just have to.
After Steve-O's real quick, can we do the Randy Macho Man Savage? How do I not know about this? Is it real or is it
Yeah,
somebody?
It's real.
Is it a
Yeah.
fan?
It's real.
How the fuck am I the last person to this party?
Because he's the cream of
Steve-O
the
has
crop.
a song named Crack Cocaine or
Yep.
Poke the
Yep.
Puss.
Crack cocaine. That Jim.
He wrote this when he was on drugs, wasn't he?
He was fucked up in the studio on PCP and smoking crack,
Shamefully
doing coke,
presents.
and all kinds of shit.
All right.
He never finished the album because he got too fucked up to do anything.
Doing whippets by the
An epidemic
boxes.
of massive proportions slammed the nation. That epidemic was crack cocaine. When it hit the streets, the average amount of money you had to spend to get some cocaine was $80 to $100. Crack was $3 a vial. The shit hit the fucking fan.
Alright, now it's time to get real dark and creepy and shit. Because I forgot to mention how much I love fucking coke.
God, Steve-O, this is just fucking horrible so far.
Right out the gate.
He's doing fucking drugs the whole time.
How
Like,
much I love coke.
And that shit just got a whole lot better when they started.
He's doing fucking lines like in the middle of the.
Did you hear him though?
song.
And that shit just got so much better when I started making. He's gonna say.
Cooking up in the fucking rocks. Now fucking get ready, motherfucker. Fucking this shit hot. Crack is coming back. Full scale attack. Torching up the zone.
Talking about doing crack.
Yeah, he's talking about
He's-
smoking crack.
He's on par with anyone that's on like an ICP label.
He dated
It's
Kat
fucking
Von D
bad.
for a while.
Yeah, that's really weird. Hold on, he's also down with STDs. That's another song.
Alright, now it's like fucking summer 2007 and I'm just stuck up in the woods.
He sounds so fucked up.
He was
right
taking
there.
Nos at that time, and he would just like he would have this
Whippets.
whipped cream container full
Yeah.
of like Nos whippets, and
Cracker.
just like burn his fucking brain out on that shit. That Steve-O documentary behind it.
Fucking upstate New York at Mafia Mike's
There's an
house,
actual
smoking
device
more
called a
PCP
cracker
than
that
a
you
fucking
fucking
horse could handle.
He's talking about
Turn
PCP.
open, you put the cartridge in, then you
Yeah.
tighten it and you pull it.
That's what it was that he was doing.
That was also the main hook. Let's-
Probably, anyway. So I figured, hell, I haven't seen Who Kid in so fucking long. I mean, I don't even know if he's alive.
It's not even rapping.
But
he's
fuck it, I'm gonna make tracks.
incoherently
I'm heading to
jabbering
the Fame
into the mic.
Studio. Boy, am I on PCP tonight. I'm gonna make a funny-ass ODB tribute song.
Come on, let's go.
Down with STDs. How do you like this for a rap album, ladies and gentlemen?
Steve-O!
Fuck.
Shout out to my dude Fang!
Yeah.
Joint right here is called Down with STDs!
I am talking about
ODB tribute!
This is the longest.
I
intro
told
ever.
ya!
It's the whole fucking. That's why they canceled it. It's garbage.
fucking become.
Jesus, he sounds fucked up though.
So you're telling
Slurring
me that
his words.
at least Bam was rapping something, albeit fucking horrible. At least there was something coming out. I mean, goddamn, there wasn't anything there.
Do you know Chevy Chase had a rap?
Oh goddamn! No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, that dude was also
if
doing
any
mega
asshole's gonna
drugs.
sue you, it's gonna be
Was he?
fucking Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase was.
That's
doing
a
drugs?
fact. Yeah.
Really?
Are you serious? Of course, Chevy Chase was doing drugs.
Shit, I don't know. I didn't hang
Fuck
out with
yeah,
him.
he was doing drugs.
You act like
Chevy
you were
Chase
there
was
with
like,
him.
He's
Jesus.
like
No,
notoriously
have you-
racist too. You see
Is he?
Childish
Here it is.
Gambino coming out about it?
I'm thinking of Steve Martin. Yeah, Chevy Chase. Everybody fucking hates him now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they say he's like impossible to work with.
Say he's
National
a
Lampoon's.
fucking prick, and then him and Bill Murray got into a fight on SNL, didn't they? Like a fist fight.
Maybe, I believe it.
Oh yeah, everybody says Chevy
Yeah,
Chase
but
is a
listen to
fat
shit.
fucking prick. He's like 800 pounds now.
He's a fucking maniac.
Size
dude.
of a goddamn house.
I fucking hate 90s rap, dude. The way that it's done most of the time.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Hold on, you
Tupac,
not Wu-Tang.
Hold on,
Smalls,
watch your
Gangstar.
fucking mouth, Patrick. I've never been
Hold
more
on.
upset
Snoop
at
Dogg,
your
Dr.
opinion
Dre,
until you
Tupac.
said that.
You're not even
Are
letting
you
me
kidding
finish.
me? I don't want to.
Well, you gotta let me finish, otherwise you guys are gonna hate me. All right, so I'm not saying about all of it because there's a lot of rap out there that is really good. I'm talking about like certain beats of just like the standard, like this. You hear this beat?
That's a Sugar Hill Gang raps beat. That
They
came
use it all
out
the
way
time.
before the 90s.
They use
that
it
came
all
out
the time.
way
It's
before
always
the 90s.
the same.
But you
bass
can't.
line.
But you can't say that beat defines all of 90s music.
No,
But that's
because
not
it
real
110%
rap. That's
There is
fucking
hold
Chevy
on.
Chase.
There is a thing about 90s rap. There's a boom boom bap that defines like all the beats of all 90s rap. I love 90s rap. Gangstar, Wu-Tang, fucking Biggie, Tupac. They have a boom boom bap, boom boom bap. Like
That's
every
exactly what I'm
every
talking
single
about.
one of their songs. Like
I don't
You
think
don't
that's
like
very
any
true at all.
old
100%.
rap.
I didn't believe it either.
Unbelievable.
I didn't believe it
Not
either. But
all
if you pull it up, like almost all of their beats is boom boom bap, like 100%.
Have you listened to the Illuminati
Slower,
7-Day
faster.
Theory by Tupac Shakur?
Yep.
And you think that there's boom boom pap in all
We're not
of
talking
his
about all.
songs?
I
don't
think you
think
guys
there's
are
all-
generalizing.
Majority of all the songs. I didn't believe it either until my friend was like, "Okay, fucking pick a song," and then he pulled it up, and then he was like,
It's true. That's like almost every kind of beat that
Like
they
the
had
whole
back
time.
then. Not of everyone. Not like I'm not talking about Tupac or Biggie and things like that. Where actually had original music in it, but the majority of everyone else that wasn't the
No,
top
even the big
mainstreamers,
ones.
Who
I'm
are
just
you
saying most
talking
of them.
about, though?
I
Like,
can't give
you can't-
examples because I didn't like them enough.
even
to remember.
Wu-Tang, like pull up any fucking Wu-Tang song. They all have. It's all a different like beat in the
Cream,
background. Technically,
Cash Rules Everything Around Me. That beat has a...
play it.
Absolutely not,
Pull
it
it up
doesn't.
real quick.
What is it?
Cream.
Cash rules everything around me.
You've never heard that song by the Wu-Tang?
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar
Dollar
bills,
bills, yo.
y'all. You don't know that?
Okay.
What are you
I'm
doing,
just trying to
Pat?
make sure.
Fucking planet are you living on?
Nigga one, guy.
Fire.
Look out for the
Fire. Yes, I'm not shitting on it.
I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times side. Staying alive was no
But there's an actual bass kick. You're making that bass
I'm
kick
not
over the
listening.
song.
Wu-Tang is, I feel like, is an
I'm
exception
not
though.
listening
because
to
Wu-Tang
it.
is really, has got some really.
I'm
jazzy
not
kinda
saying I
style.
hate this. I'm not shitting on it. I'm saying they all did it though. Listen to it
He's
again.
absolutely correct though because
Listen to
they
it.
all
Play-
have the same.
I'd
kind of
argue
tempo
Pat,
that.
keep
too.
playing it. Keep
I
playing
mean,
it.
I
could you
definitely
translate
argue
that
that.
to the same music today, too? I mean,
100% if you're
I
gonna
could
play
do
that.
this to just about any song.
Exactly. 110% you
But
could.
there's a common riff that a lot of musicians will use that will stick with. That they'll stick with.
It's not the same backing track. It's not the same like that noise that you hear. What I don't know what the fuck to call it. But it's the exact same beat for almost all of 90s rap. I promise.
I'm
It's
gonna
sped
argue
up
that
or
till I'm
slowed
blue in
down.
the
their
face.
timing. The timing and the tempo of the music
It's
can
exact-
be very similar to almost
Not
all
necessarily
the
the
other.
what
tempo.
I'm
The tempo can be
confused is,
increased or decreased, but it's that
like,
same boom boom bap, boom boom
Patrick,
bap.
you weren't talking about. You're only kind of jumping on the bandwagon with Cody because he was the one that mentioned
he's
that.
explaining it better than
because
I am.
You are saying that not Tupac, not Biggie, but then he's saying yes, Tupac.
Yes,
to
they-
Biggie,
they absolutely
which
are.
is fine. Like I don't care, but I think you were saying like the Chevy Chase style pop stupid. Like it was like that kind of rap that you didn't like, right? Is that what you were saying?
I'm talking about
I'm
both
just
of them.
all
Yeah.
I'm doing right now is pointing out something that my friend pointed out to me years ago. I'm not saying that it's a good or bad thing. I'm neutral about it, but it does exist, and it's in like all of 90s rap. Like you could basically go down the rest of all 90s rappers and you'll find that. But there's
I'd for
shitty
sure argue
and
that.
bad versions of that, and like they all did it good and they all did it bad. I mean, you just heard it in Cream though. You said it's definitely not in Cream, and
Because
then I just
that
did
beat
it to
is
it.
not in it. You just played your knee slap over
I just
it.
told him to play it again, and it was there. Play it.
Yeah,
again,
listen
Pat.
to the actual bass kick.
Listen
It's
to
not
it.
there.
Is this gonna be the new Bright?
Yes.
Can we just talk about how bad Bright is? That movie fucking sucked, dude.
Staying alive was no job, had second hands. Moms bounced on old men. So then we moved
the Shaolin land. A young
It's very similar. Give me another example so that way we can compare it to something.
Okay, Thug Mansion by Tupac Shakur.
You literally just heard what I was talking about, though, and you're acting like it wasn't there. I didn't say a word through that. I was going, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, like exactly what I told you.
Thug
would be there,
Mansion,
and it's
Tupac
fucking there.
Shakur.
All right, play it. I haven't heard. I don't know that I've heard
I feel
this
like
one.
Tupac's going to be a bad example.
Tired of getting chased by the police and arrested.
This is a horrible remix of the classic song. Because
you fucking hear it in the remix
original
too.
beat. The original beat is an acoustic guitar.
Motherfucker, they just played the same shit though.
This is hold on. There's
even in the remix.
That's not even an official remix. That was a fan made.
Here we go.
That's okay.
Here we go.
Let's give me another example. Let's not use that.
Appreciate it right there, dear mama. That's a perfect example.
No, we want to use something that's in the same kind of general. I don't know how to explain
me,
it.
this
Like,
isn't saying that they all sound the same at all, but like the beat is the same across all of 90s rap.
I don't know.
I love 90s rap. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know. I'm not saying you.
Sound.
I'm not saying Cody. You hate all of '90s rap.
You're
ever,
arguing it with
but
me
I am
like you're
for
saying
sure
I hate
gonna arguing because I don't think that's a true statement that almost all '90s beats have that same tempo.
I didn't either, but I just showed you. And
I just feel like you gotta like not you, Cody, but for Patrick, because Cody, you're not arguing that it's not good, but Patrick's the one that's arguing that it's in fact good.
No,
and you gotta have some respect for like where the music came from, right? Like where rap music came from.
Yeah, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying
you said that earlier that you didn't like 90s rap.
I did.
Yeah, you did totally say that, dude.
Yeah. I also said that I'm not talking about Tupac or Biggie or Wu-Tang. I'm talking about there's just a lot of other ones that are not just the big ones out there that do the same similar thing. They're trying to come up with that specific pop riff and beat that almost everyone else is using. The fact that you guys can't hear it blows my mind because it is a very true statement what he's saying. He was just basically talking about what I was also saying, but I was just not explaining it the best way. Here's
I feel like we're on trial right now.
You are.
Which one is this, Pat?
It's just a 90s rap beat. Just a standard rap beat.
That was probably made last year by some random fan.
No, 2014.
So it's definitely not a 90s rap beat.
Well, can you give me
2014 rap beats?
Rapper? Can you give me
Moss Deep.
Gangstar.
Moss Deep for sure. Common.
You could go fucking Nas. You could go. I already said Wu-Tang. We already did that. You could go Biggie. You could go fucking
Rakim.
When I'm on the spot, it's hard, but
Rakim for sure.
fresh out the gate again, time to raise the stakes again. Fat my plate again.
That beat is specifically what Cody's talking about.
I love that song too. I could do all the lyrics to that song. I fucking love that song. But like that's the boom boom bap. It's in all of it, dude, across the board. What's wrong with that though? You're looking at me like I just.
It doesn't mean it's bad. It just depends on how you use it.
With so much music, like even if you use that for other genres, like a lot of the indie in the 90s all sounds kind of similar.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
There's a certain era. I mean, it makes sense that music sounds the way that it does.
Nirvana played the same fucking 4 chords for like 3 albums straight. Yeah, for sure.
Aren't you like not allowed to play any Nirvana inside of a Guitar Center?
I think that's the rules. Yeah. That and Stairway.
If you're in there and you just hear someone start playing it, you have to like look at them like, what are you doing, bro?
Set it down, noob.
No.
This is the new Bright though.
Yeah, that is interesting.
We've never got Rachel's opinion on Bright. Rachel?
Well, she was saying that it was. She was saying it was how I was describing it at first, but I was just explaining it.
Oh, you mean that your boyfriend didn't let you finish the movie?
Yeah, he was like, I'm done with this, and turned it off.
Bright? I tried.
Did you let her try though, Pat?
No, I was like, Patrick, I want to finish it, and he was like, No.
I feel like
never in this house.
I feel like you gotta finish a movie before you throw so much hate at it.
Yeah, that's very true. But I've tried watching it twice now, and just to like see if I could. Can't do it.
A fun segment should be like after we gang up on Pat for one thing, we should like just keep toppling on, just keep ganging up on him.
God damn, that'd be
until he just keeps crawling lower and lower into his chair.
God, I'll lose my mind.
You know what's making me lose my fucking mind?
What's that?
We need an HIV plus Disney princess. We need an HIV positive Disney princess. We don't. You're right. We fucking don't. But there's a lady on the internet who thinks we do. What the fuck are you talking about? Or a man or something.
You're talking about like a Barbie that's themed to have HIV positive Is that what you're talking about?
I'm telling
Disney
you that
princess.
somebody on the internet thinks that it's a positive thing to have an HIV positive Disney princess, and I agree with the Peeps Pizza guy. The world should have ended in 2012 because this shit's getting fucking retarded. I could get it if you were arguing like transgender or something, but like fucking HIV positive, like I'm not like saying if you got HIV then you're a terrible person or anything, but like why we got to teach kids about STDs?
It's weird, and it's also like a subject we shouldn't ever be bringing into that realm of mind for such a young audience.
How could they make it into a Disney movie? Like,
You
what would be the
fucking
point
couldn't.
Of it?
Like what
HIV.
the beginning starts off, the dad's drinking Jack Daniels out of the bottle, probably molesting her. It's implied, but it's Disney, so they got to get it all G-rated and shit.
Jesus Christ.
And there's a musical thrown in there somewhere too.
She's living on the
How G-rated
streets.
can you make implied incest?
She's living on the
I don't
streets
know. How
until
would
she
you do
meets Mr. Needles, the bad guy of the movie.
It's got to be some like shoulder rubbing, something really uncomfortable. Like, oh, God, what the fuck?
Some weird camera angles of panning.
Yeah,
But pleasant enough to where kids don't understand.
Yeah, but
It's
the
one of those
adults
adult
know.
things. Yeah,
The adults know, and they're like, "Cover your eyes, children." They're like, "Why?"
I just don't understand it. And somebody told me this was a joke, but then I read through the fucking comments, and there are people arguing this legitimately. I don't know if they're all trolls. I hope they are.
They are all HIV positive.
I mean,
That's
fuck,
why
dude.
they're arguing.
I mean, if I was HIV positive, I would want an HIV positive.
I don't know that I would.
I
don't
wouldn't.
fucking know that I would. I would be like, this sucks. I'm going to try everything that I can to fucking get past this and work past it. But I wouldn't be like, let's tell kids about it. Like,
I also wouldn't give a fuck about a Disney princess having my disease.
Look, dude, it's 2018, and I'm very sensitive now.
What if they all have it, but they just don't talk about it?
Just
Like all
every
Disney
princess
What if
is all
every
HIV positive?
What if every single Disney
That's how they
princess
stay
is
so
HIV
thin.
positive?
Oh God,
God, that's kind of fucked up.
that's
they're
so
on the AIDS
awesome.
diet. Little heroin in the morning. Little
we
dick in
don't
the
know
ass at
they're
It's
night.
not body shaming. It's fucking HIV.
Yeah, I mean we don't. Like, there's
As far
no,
as I'm
I mean, think
concerned-
about it. There's no proof that they're not
Yeah.
all HIV
As far as
positive.
I'm concerned, they all have HIV. Change my mind.
Yeah, change my mind.
Change my mind on
Change
that.
my mind.
All
We
right,
need to make that a
Steven
meme.
Crowder.
Pat's head over Steven Crowder's table saying, "All Disney princesses are HIV positive." Change my mind.
Change my mind. I mean, seriously, can you change my mind right
Yeah,
now?
can you provide proof that they're not?
This is like every argument that you see on the internet for everything that everybody doesn't agree with. Well, bro, show me the fucking
Have you seen
evidence
it?
that shows it. Yeah, bro, tell
Have you
me.
seen it yourself?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, bro.
Could all just be lies, man. What do
Cody.
you mean?
That's what that flat earthers argument was.
Who's
Yeah.
your favorite character of any TV show?
Of any TV show?
Yep.
Ah,
Just
fuck.
a name, not why. Just
The Hound.
okay. What if the Hound had HIV?
I mean, I assume he does, but he's just like,
I bet he
Let's
actually
be
does.
honest. I assume everyone I meet is HIV positive.
You just meet
Did you
someone,
just
you're like,
assume my
your
you
health,
just assume my,
genetic
I just-
imperative?
your general well-being?
just assume my STD pronoun.
Listen, I'm sorry, but I just assume that everyone's HIV positive.
Until
I'm
proven
positive
innocent.
VIH, so
Until proven innocent.
Yeah,
basically.
until I see
proven
lab
positive.
results.
Proven negative.
I request lab results whenever I get too cozy with people.
I can picture
I need to
you
make
like
sure.
looking at the results on the paper, then looking back up to the person with squinty eyes,
I go,
like,
huh.
well, I guess if it's on paper,
It's like written in crayon with the R's
God,
backwards.
people
Like a
have to go
kid's
to
wrote it.
ridiculous lengths to be friends with you, so you can.
I don't have many friends.
Well, you know what I
I've,
mean, like just so that.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't have
HIV.
Yeah, because
You know, you made me
the whole
think of
blood
something.
work thing really throws people off.
Yeah.
You made me think of something when you said the favorite character, because one of my favorite characters in like anime has got to be Rurouni Kenshin, and Luke actually brought up some
Does he have HIV?
interesting information. He's
I,
not.
Just wait,
but
can I clarify that I
Change my
assume
mind.
that Rurouni Kenshin is HIV?
How does he not have
he's
HIV?
also a
and
very
tell me
thin
why.
man.
Tell me how
Yeah.
he doesn't
Tell-
have HIV.
Well,
Well,
I assume he
let's-
does
let's
because he
get to the point of the
as-
freaking topic.
As Batosai the Manslayer, he was
First.
slaughtering motherfuckers covered in the blood of like the Japanese.
That's how he got it.
That's how he
I
got
assume
it.
he-
So
Open cut
probably
wounds
has
and blood.
got
HIV.
Yeah, I'm
He has
sure he
HIV.
does.
He definitely has.
This
I
is
don't
an
think we-
HIV circus on the mics right now. Everybody's just like HIV, I got fucking HIV.
In my head.
But be honest.
I assume he has HIV, but that's
Okay,
not why I'm
okay.
bringing this
I
up.
just wanted to make sure you admitted
The
it a little bit.
author got exposed for being in possession of child pornography.
Probably
And
got
guess what
HIV.
the harsh penalty that they levied onto him was? Just take it before Luke let you know. What do you think Japan's penalty on getting accused of having child porn is?
Mandatory HIV shot.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're gonna give you some HIV.
No, seriously. What? Okay, well,
6 months.
I guess that's.
He got 6 months.
They'll never
got
try to
6
guess.
months. What?
No,
Rachel,
let me read.
Seriously, no. 6 months? Does that?
6 months
That's not
for
my
child
final.
pornography.
No. He had to pay a fine.
Okay.
So
what do you
you've
think,
even left.
Rachel? What do you think you got? What do you think?
10 years.
Luke, do you want to tell him?
I don't remember the exact amount in yen. I think it was like 180,000 yen, which is it. But I think that translated to U.S. currency, or whatever the actual fine was $1,800 in U.S. currency.
And let him go. No jail time.
Yep.
Motherfucker just got to go free. And I love
fucking free.
Fucking love Rooney Kenshin, but fuck that dude in the face. And if he's the one that wrote it, it made me lose. I can't lose respect for the art because I hate the guy that made it, but like, that makes me sick to my fucking stomach.
Well, it's
though.
like eating Subway, dude. Do you still like Subway?
I hate Subway. I hate cold sandwiches.
He wasn't the one making the
Jared
sandwiches.
Wasn't the one who created
He was just
Subway.
He was just some fat fuck that ate veggie sandwiches instead of stuffing his face with lard every day, and then he lost 3 pant sizes, and he was still kind of fat, and then he was the kind of fat face fucking glasses wearing
fat
child
face.
molesting fucking face.
Let's be honest, Jared looked like a fucking child molester.
Yeah, I didn't trust that guy.
Well, he for sure
we were
looked
innocent
like
though. We didn't know.
Do you think he took out sandwiches out of his pants?
What?
No, I don't.
Kids?
This
Yeah,
is
like,
Pat's.
hey.
This is how Pat thinks of child molestation.
Like,
He just
hey,
pulls-
kid.
Hey, you wanna? He
It's
pulls
a very cartoon version. Like he pulls a big sandwich
baguette
out,
that you
and
never
that's all
noticed.
it is.
What if it's just a big misunderstanding?
And then he
It was
swallows
actually
it in
what
one
he
gulp
was
like
giving-
Shaggy.
He was storing them in his oversized pants that he keeps with him to show people.
Yeah, that's
Y'all
it.
kids want to see
It's
a
all just
magic
filled
trick?
with sandwiches.
Mister, why are you wearing such big pants?
Reach in here. I have a foot long for you.
And it
And
really,
it's
but
actually-
it really
what a
is.
hacky
It really
joke.
is a. It
But
really is a
to
fun.
be
sandwich.
honest, cold sandwiches are fucking garbage.
Yeah,
trash.
for the most part.
If you are faced with two options, Subway or Penn Station, literally everybody is going to walk right into Penn Station
love
and
Penn
not
Station.
even think twice. Like why are they even here? They're gonna lose.
I don't know,
business
dude.
being
Sometimes
next
I
to
like
Penn
that
Station.
Subway a little bit more.
Oh, I hate everything about
depends.
Subway. I just
You gotta
get
get
cold
the-
sandwiches.
the
Get the
sweet
buffalo
onion
chicken.
sauce.
No, I get the toasted. You get the
I like
toasted
the
buffalo
meatball
chicken.
Why
Sweet
get
onion
toasted when
sauce.
you can just have melted cheese over meat on a nice?
You
But
can get that
you
at
can
Subway,
get it
fool.
toasted.
I'd rather go to Penn
Yeah, I
Station.
get it toasted
But
all
you
the time.
can totally get it toasted.
I get the meat heated first and then toasted, so it's actually hot because that toaster doesn't do dick for the fucking heat of the meat. It just melts the bacon and the cheese.
But that also sounds like a huge
Heat of the
order
meat.
for the employees, and the employees probably don't like going through that extra process.
I don't give a fuck.
See, when you could just go to Penn Station and just get a sandwich.
Penn Station's so much better. Let's just be honest.
It really
great.
is.
It's great, but I only get one thing: Philly cheesesteak.
That's all you fucking
I find
need.
that all their
Cody.
sandwiches kind of taste the same. Wow.
Sorry.
Okay, nice Black Panther salute. And
Wakanda
proud of
forever.
yourself.
I
on
was
that
air
one.
fist pumping Luke. Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Black Panther
Almost
was
tipped
a
over your,
solid film.
I haven't
Stand
seen
there.
it yet.
We
It was
haven't seen
good,
it yet.
but what I can say, no spoilers, is that now that I've watched it, I don't get what the big movement was behind Killmonger. Like there was such this huge
Yeah, that's what I keep
following
hearing about.
political movement behind it because of Killmonger, and he was just a real piece of shit the whole film. I mean, he had two like really noble lines.
Don't
about-
give me anything.
I'm not.
Don't give me
I just said
anything.
at the beginning of this I wasn't
Okay.
going to spoil anything, but he has two noble lines about slaves. That's it. You know, that's it. The rest of the film, it's him being a giant piece of shit to everyone else and everything.
Mm-hmm.
why wasn't everybody on the Blade train? What was up with that?
Why wasn't?
Why wasn't that the same cultural impact? I'm just asking. I'm not like
Because
shitting on it. I
because
just don't
Black
know.
Panther was centered around African culture, and Blade is just a black guy killing vampires.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think it's a goddamn comic book movie, but I
That exactly same
know.
because that's all
But
I
I
knew
guess
Black
I'm-
Panther as.
But I guess I'm overly represented in the media or whatever, so I guess I don't get to get an opinion on it. But that's how I feel about it. I don't fucking. It's a goddamn comic book movie. Why are
It
we all
was
so
a really
excited?
good. It was a really good comic book movie. It was phenomenal. One of the top 3 nows for sure.
I haven't seen it.
I would go fucking Homecoming, Civil War or Winter Soldier, and then Black Panther.
Civil War's the shit. We are watching. Rachel and I were watching every Marvel movie once a week, And we just finished Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. Did not age as well as I expected it to. It was not very fun to watch a second time.
What, you didn't like that movie?
No, I like it. It's just, there were some things about it that it could have been a lot better. It just wasn't the best acted one. The graphics could have been a lot better. There's things about it that could have been a lot better. I felt like there was just, compared to Civil War and Avengers 1, it's very low par, and I feel like it's kind of forgettable in a way. In a way, it's hard to explain. But we're on to Ant-Man next, and I'm really excited for that one. I really love Ant-Man.
What was the one that you guys were talking about off the mics before we started the podcast? What was that?
We were talking about Infinity War, because that's coming up soon. Actually, next month, April 27th.
I'm excited.
Wait.
It's gonna be. I'll probably call off work.
Unfortunately, we'll be out of town that weekend.
I'll probably
really
schedule
sucks.
off. Yeah.
But I bet some serious people are about to die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really hope it doesn't get ruined.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. Is I'm gonna get online and someone's gonna write "Rip Tony Stark," even though
you fucking know someone will though.
Like, yeah, and I'm not.
Or they'll wear it as their bumper sticker, like they did with Han Solo's dead from the fucking when the Force
My
Awakens
favorite
came out.
bumper sticker came from the Avengers series, and it's a sticker Tony Stark has inside of one of his ships, and it says Jarvis is my co-pilot. And my brother now has that on the back of his car. It's one of my favorite bumper stickers I've ever seen. Yeah.
Speaking of people dying, did you guys see that the Chinese space station is expected to fall out of the fucking sky and hit Michigan?
What?
Yeah. Can we pull this story up real quick to make sure it's not fake news?
I'm sure it's very real, and I think one of two things will happen. One, or actually three scenarios. One, it will totally move out of orbit, not even touch the state at all, and possibly crash into the water. Second scenario is they get permission to blow that shit out of the sky before it comes down
Armageddon
and hurts any
style.
Civilians. Or three,
I think Elon Musk is going to do that.
Or three, we do absolutely nothing. It crashes into the country and ignites World War III on an impeccable start. Can you imagine how World War I and II started, and then 3 kicks off with a fucking satellite crash landing in the middle of a state, decimating a city?
Well, Elon Musk he's stated recently that it is absolutely imperative to go onto Mars to preserve our species for World War III, which is, he says in his terms, inevitable. And he says as early as next year that we're going to be flying a rocket to Mars next year.
I'm sure it's true. That man has done work that is generations above his time. I mean,
Boring Company, would you have bought one of those flamethrowers?
Dude, they were like $400.
What? Flamethrowers? I was talking about rockets.
Elon Musk is putting out $400 flamethrowers.
What?
You didn't know about this?
It's a company called the Boring Company, and he's doing this to help pay for his new things.
That man is, like, they always theorize that rockets are just always going to have to be thrown away once they're used. You know, they burn up in the sky, or they crash down into the water and they retrieve. And now he's got reusable rockets that he can just launch off, land, and refuel and do it all over again. This is amazing technology that's happening now.
Did you see the video of the re-entry of the two species?
Yes, I did. It was absolutely amazing.
It didn't even look real, dude. That's fucking crazy.
I didn't see
One of the craziest ones is when he lands the fucking rocket on top of the battleship in the ocean. That was nuts. The type of accuracy you need. Oh my god.
So is that dude on trying to save us from this fucking space station falling? Because he should be the one figuring that shit out.
I feel like all we need are 2 good homing missiles.
There's a Chinese space station that's about to fall out of the sky.
Yeah,
it's going to hit Michigan, and they said that it has a hazardous substance on it called hydrazine, which is super toxic and could kill people. I don't know what hydrazine is, but it's just a big word that they said. Whatever. And they said that it's dangerous, and if it falls on Michigan, then it could land in the fucking river. Poison the river, or it could fucking hit somebody's house or a part of a big building in a city or something fucking potentially horrible. Hopefully it hits Detroit and then no one will be sad.
What if it hits and it starts,
or it'll hit Flint and maybe it'll do something about the fucking water finally.
What if it hits and that hydrazine starts the zombie apocalypse?
And then we have World War III, but with zombies.
That'd be so tight.
But it resurrects the Nazis somehow, and we have Nazi zombies.
What would you guys do if zombies happened?
I've already thought about this. And in my neighborhood area, there's a huge warehouse district. Like, there's just a bunch of large company warehouses all over the place. And I've already scoped out 2 that are fairly big, and they only have one floor level entrance, like ground level entrance. and the rest are all truck docks, so they're high up in the air. So yeah, I would fucking seal off that one floored off door. I'd be set.
The best place you want to be at during a zombie apocalypse is an oil rig, or one of those oil platforms that are out in the ocean.
Yeah.
You want to be on one of those.
What are you going to do with your food and sustenance and all that stuff?
What are you going to do when they turn out like the White Walkers from the Game of Thrones?
Around an oil rig? You want to trust that fishing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I sure as hell would.
Fishing. You think the oil's just going to be leaking out everywhere?
I will once a lot of time passes and zero maintenance has happened to it. 100% yes.
That's true. I guess I'd have to find one that was decommissioned, I guess. If I was really that deep. But I guess if any weapon I'd have to pick, I'd use a katana because it's 3 pounds and it stays sharp and it's quiet.
It does not stay sharp. Those things dull pretty quick.
I'll just bring a sharpener. A katana sharpener.
I just imagine Pat ruining a katana blade, trying to use a fucked up sharpener that he bought at like Amazon for $20.
Yeah,
if we're doing like middle of the sea stuff, I would look for an island. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, an island would be the easiest way to guarantee that you could kill everything off. I mean, assuming that the zombies can't walk underwater.
What about all your loved ones?
Fuck them.
You wouldn't try to like find anyone or.
It's for sure. I'd like throw out some phone calls like, "Yo, where you at, dude? Like, can I
I'm about to peace out.
Already have an apocalypse squad. All right, bye. You know, like."
Here's the thing, like
I'd throw out some calls.
When the first moments, like where you're first hearing about it, you're first seeing it on the news, you're not going to believe it. It's going to be on social media. Like, what do you do when you start to see it in your streets and stuff? Like, I just think about the pure panic of the first few hours of realizing this.
Joy.
How do you think?
Few hours of joy.
How do you guys think that?
Would you stay in your house or would you try to leave?
I have 14 swords in my bedroom. I would be out there swinging.
How do you guys think that the Trump administration would handle a zombie apocalypse?
Kill everyone.
Let's break that down real quick.
Kill everyone, dude.
Trump would nuke every state individually. They would each get their own nuke.
Or he
would seal himself off underneath some underground mountain base, and he would broadcast to himself.
Basically.
And then he would fly down to like some random third world country, pick him up a new wife, and then go talk about how he hates Mexicans to her all night long.
Just yelling at Mexican zombies.
Except for you and my 8 other wives that are all foreigners. But those one foreigners are terrible.
He's down at the border yelling at Mexican zombies through the fence.
I told you we needed a wall. I told you we needed a wall. I told you. That he'd just be on Twitter just yelling about how the wall would have prevented it. Came from Mexico. Mexico zombies are coming over, raping and pillaging.
And eating our brains. We need our brains.
This is why we built the wall, people.
Our brains are the greatest brains in all.
Did you guys see how he said motherfuckers? Like, I'm going to tax the motherfuckers 25%. They have like audio of him doing it like at one of his rallies. Like, Rogan just tweeted it out the other day, and you can see our president screaming, I'm going to tax the motherfuckers 25%, talking about the entirety of the Chinese population that makes all of everything that we use. Point to something in this room, read the fucking Made in China or Taiwan sticker.
It's I really, truly hope that his presidency awakens the fact that it's such a broken system and old school, and no one would ever pick this type of like government this day and age ever.
I think shit's gonna go really wrong before we get in a resolution.
Yeah, and I think that he's the fucking the match to light the flame. You know, I think this is the big awakening to it.
But when empires fall and new ones rise up, it's always fucking shitty to start it off with, and there's always a power grab, and it's always gonna be crazy. Let's not get too much more political.
Yeah, I got a question, Luke.
Let's hear it.
Would you rather
Let's
man to man?
Me and you.
It's just us. I wish I had a perfect soundbite for that, but I don't. We'll get one eventually. But if there was a zombie apocalypse, since you're going to be a savage, and
I would try. I'd probably get killed
You'd
really early.
You'd run into the streets swinging.
Yeah, you wouldn't even probably ask anybody. Are you all right? Whoosh. Like you wouldn't even ask him. You probably slice him down. You'd be like, run!
I'd have Condi duct taped to a boxing glove and fend off the zombies with the smell of her dead tooth.
Am I gonna get fucking arrested in the apocalypse? I don't think so.
No, but what if it's a false alarm?
Yeah, what if it's all a big misunderstanding?
Then it's self-defense. They were all zombies as far as I'm concerned.
You ran out in the street.
I had to defend my property.
not to kill our fun, but we're at an hour and a half. Do you want to do the man-to-mans and wrap it up after
Yeah,
that?
we're doing it right now. So basically, if there was a zombie apocalypse and Cody and I were right here and we got infected at the same time, who are you killing first?
Ideally, I'd probably try to kill you both at the same time.
No, you have to pick one.
Oh, I have to pick one?
Yeah.
And then what happens?
And then why?
Well, why? Like,
We're both
what
the same
weapon am
distance
I
away.
doing to kill you so that I can't kill both of you at the same time?
You can't kill both of us at the same time.
Okay.
You can only kill
Like,
one of
gun
us.
to the head.
You have to. You have to kill one immediately without a second thought. Is it going to be me or Cody?
It would probably be you.
Really?
It sounds like I said that really fast, but only because I've known him so much longer.
That makes sense. So, are you saying you're going to hesitate when...
Well, I mean, you're definitely both going to die. Like, as soon
But
as I
me,
kill you, I'm blowing his head off, like, right after. Because you're both infected, you know?
Yeah.
And I'd expect
But what
both
if-
of you to want me
Even
to
though
off
he's
you.
sitting closer
And
to
I'd
you?
want you to off me if I'm infected. Honestly.
Pat really didn't want you to say that he was going to be first. That wasn't what he thought you was going to say, and now Pat's
Hey,
like
Cody.
upset.
I don't
Cody.
hate you.
Cody and Luke. Guess which one of the two of you...
Pat
I'd
was
shoot
basically
first.
like, Luke, which of us do you like better? Right now on the internet. And then when he was like, I mean, I've known Cody for years longer. You were like, what? No, I'm so. Come on, bro. What do you mean, man?
You're supposed to say
You
me,
just met
man.
me,
Bro,
dude.
I asked because it was.
But, okay.
Cody, I've known you a lot longer than we actually think.
Really?
Like, we've been out of high school. 2012 was a while ago. And we
6
met
years
our
ago.
freshman year, man. 2008.
Yeah, so that's what, 10 years ago almost?
Your
As
freshman
of,
year was 2008.
Yes.
Wrapped it up in 2009, yeah.
Wow.
It was
I
cool.
graduated high school in 2009.
Yeah, me too.
It's fucking crazy.
God,
Only
we're fucking
3
old.
years before us. You guys are acting like it was in 76 when y'all graduated high school. Like, settle down. Jesus. Fucking millennials. We're all millennials here. Come, settle down a little bit. Jesus.
So, hey, Luke, guess who I'd shoot?
Me.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest
I
bit.
fucking wonder why.
Bingo.
Patrick.
It's only because
Patrick.
you've known him longer and have had
If you had
significantly
to
more
choose
memories made.
between me and Cody, who would you choose?
Cody, I guess I'd have to kill you.
You guys never asked me.
Cody, who out of everyone, between me and Luke, who you killing first?
I'd kill myself because I couldn't live without both of you.
You can't kill yourself.
Oh, damn it. I wish I thought of that.
Well,
Shit.
here's the funny thing, Cody. Here's the really funny thing. You can't
The bullets
shoot
don't
that.
work on yourself. Yeah, they
You
do,
have
Pat.
You have a
I
protective
promise they
force
do.
field
You
around
can't
yourself.
kill yourself.
I've been the best scorer. It works. All right.
All right. Was that all we got for
We
now?
need to censor
Yeah.
that website.
That was a pretty good way to wrap it up, you guys. Check us out on social media at The Bastard Sermon. We're everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, The Bastard Sermon. YouTube eventually, you guys go check out the website, is it The Bastard Sermon or Libsyn/TheBastardSermon.com?
www.thebastardsermon/libsyn.com.
And on iTunes. Please, if you have time, if you loved us or hated us, leave us some type of review so that we can have enough reviews to finally have a rating. And I don't know, man. Fucking find us.
Thanks, Rachel, for coming on.
And if you guys come up with
Bye.
any great man-to-man topics, send them our way.
Yeah,
Comment
dude,
on the
email
video.
us at tell us the email address.
Email us at thebastardsermon@gmail.com.
All right. Anything else, you guys? Thanks again, Rachel.
Thanks.
Peace, motherfuckers.
Thank you for listening to the Bastard Sermon today. If you liked us, check us out.
God, Pat, that's staying in. Now we're going. If you liked us, please fucking find us on Instagram at The Bastard Sermon. Please find us on iTunes at The Bastard Sermon and on Facebook at The Bastard Sermon. Leave us a review if you liked it. Leave us a review if you hated it. And please tell Pat that he's an idiot for fucking up the reads. All right, good night.